Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. Today it's going to be the next video from my series Quick Thoughts On, in which I talk about different episodes of different Star Trek series. Today I am going to talk a bit about the episode from the animated series called Albatross. And no, if you expect a story containing lots of interesting birds, you will be disappointed. I personally was a bit confused why this story is called Albatross, so I had to use Google. And it looks like the title Albatross is most likely referring to the metaphorical usage of the word albatross that has its origins in Samuel Taylor Coleridge's poem The Rise of the Ancient Mariner, where the albatross symbolizes a psychological burden that feels like a curse. Wow, I'm pretty sure that all of the kids got it, right? This episode is a prime example of why I personally refuse to accept that it's only a kids show excuse. Except for the title, it also deals with a not very child-friendly theme, a genocide. The Enterprise crew is on the planet Dramia, where the yellow vampires express to Kirk their gratitude. They are so grateful that they arrest Dr. McCoy. He is accused of killing the whole population of Dramia too. 19 years earlier, McCoy was the head of a mass inoculation program for a Saurian Saurian virus on Dramia 2, but after they left the planet, everybody died. Did McCoy commit a genocide? Of course, nobody thinks that he has done it intentionally, but has he done an error and unintentionally infected the whole planet with a plague? The sad thing is that even McCoy is not sure about it anymore, so of course our heroes must find some evidence about his innocence. While the Enterprise heads to Dramia 2, Spock gets info about the plague, noting the fact that one of the symptoms is different skin color. They also discover that they are being followed by one of the yellow vampires called Demos. Kirk orders to open the hangar door. Demos sees the hangar door is opening, and because he is written as an idiot, he doesn't see that it's a trap and flies inside. And what a surprise, the thing which looked like a trap was a trap. Who would say it? Of course, Kirk and Spock capture him and hold him hostage. Sorry, I meant to say ask him to join them on their mission on Dramia 2. They all beam down to the planet and immediately notice somebody is alive, but the silent observer runs into a cave. They follow him and Kirk gets attacked. Then they meet a second survivor called Coltai. Coltai says that McCoy actually helped them and that he doesn't think that he would be able to intentionally kill them. And what's even better, he is willing to go to testify in McCoy's favor. What a lovely monster he is. They bring him on board, clean him up, give him food and let him sleep. But as soon as the ship flies through the weird radiation surrounding the planet, he turns blue. The captain gets down, and before Demos has a chance to say something, Kirk is blue too. Everybody except Spock is blue in a few minutes. Spock, because of his Vulcan blood, is immune. That's a bit overused, don't you think? And also, how is it possible that the whole crew is now infected? This makes them look pretty dumb if they didn't put Kirk and Coltai immediately in quarantine. There is a nice little moment when they set up the ship so that it self-destructs in the case that all of them will die. Unfortunately, they don't go anywhere with it. It's just mentioned in dialogue. Spock, the new commander of the Enterprise, demands that McCoy will be immediately released out of the prison so that he can immediately start working on a vaccine. But the main yellow guy responds with basically a slightly more polite version of "go F yourself." So Spock does the logical thing. He breaks into the prison, neck pinches the guard, and saves McCoy, who is now free to work on the cure. But because Kirk is the main character, apparently, he tells McCoy to ignore the skin colorization, and that is the correct answer. The truth is that they have two different diseases. The skin color changes are done by the radiation through which they flew with the ship. All the other symptoms are caused by the second disease, and that's the one they really need to cure. Now, this should be the most interesting part of the episode if the writer knew what he's doing. They could now have a long sequence explaining how they get to the cure, but nope. This episode has just 20 minutes, so McCoy simply finds the cure, injects Kirk with it, and of course, everybody gets cured. The Dramians promise to withdraw all charges and forget how did McCoy get out of the prison if Kirk forgets that Demos intruded the Enterprise without any official permission. Everybody is happy, and we even end up with a classic banter between Spock and McCoy. This story is a great story for an episode of the original series. The problem is that it was filmed as an episode of the animated series. The tone of this episode is pretty inconsistent with the tone of many of the previous episodes. It's basically a character-driven drama done in animation, which is not a very effective combination. It also deals with major themes, which again doesn't really work in an animated format. It also suffers from the 20-minute time limit. The pacing is very uneven. The ending, which could itself be a plot for a great 90 minutes long catastrophic movie, is basically cut to they need a cure, they find a cure, they cure everyone. McCoy's inner conflict is set up but not utilized. He doubts himself, he even thinks he might be unintentionally be the creator of a plague which killed almost all of the population of the planet, which is a great premise for a character-driven story. Feeling of guilt can be used for really interesting dialogue. They unfortunately, again, go nowhere with it. There is even a wonderful moment. The crew of the Enterprise is willing to destroy their ship, only to prevent others to get infected with their disease. But again, they set up a great premise and do nothing with it. They just mention it in a few lines of dialogue. Also, why does everybody act so stupid in the crucial moments? Demos falls into an obvious trap, and why do they let their crew infect so easily? I mean, they have HEV suits in the original series and life support belts in the animated series. Why didn't they immediately start a quarantine and let the disease spread to the whole ship in what appears to be a few minutes? This story shouldn't be a 20 minutes long animated show. This story is the second animated story which has the potential to become a great 2 hours long movie. Don't get me wrong, I like the story, but I think that the animated 20 minutes long format was an absolutely inappropriate format for it. I would personally give this episode 8 out of 10. It's great, but it could be much better. But as always, these were just my opinions. Let me know your opinions down in the comment section. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you have some spare time, feel free to watch any other video on my channel, including my thoughts on the previous episodes of the animated series, or the episodes of the first season of the original series. You should see some links to some playlists on screen right now. As always, thanks a lot for watching, and don't forget to come back next week when I'll talk about the next episode from the animated series called How Sharper Than a Serpent's Tooth. Meanwhile, thanks a lot for watching and see you all next time. Bye.